Dear Miss Rowling, if being bitten by a basilisk fang didn't destroy Harry beyond repair enough for the Horcrux to have been destroyed inside him, which, to be fair, the Phoenix tears had stopped the venom, that still begs the question, how destroyed must something be in order to be deemed irreparable? Then how was his death at the end of the series considered irreparable, considering he came back? Now, one could argue with the Resurrection Stone being death, so much stronger than expected. Death definitely manipulated the brothers to give his stuff back. I also don't believe it was Dumbledore that Harry met in his death, but death itself. We already know that the dead wife one of the brothers brought back to life with the stone was not his actual wife, as the stone states. As the stone states, in quotes, it recalls someone who has died from beyond, but they would return only in a semi-corporeal form, less substantial than a living body, but much more than a ghost, end quotes. Therefore, it wasn't his wife that came back, but a less substantial body, a corporeal ghost. With that hypothesis, does that mean the Harry that came back isn't the same Harry that died? Are we dealing with a ghost or a zombie? Sure, Lily's love protection charm made it so that he hadn't actually died. That, again, begs the question as to why the basilisk bite didn't destroy the Horcrux. But would the same work for Nagini, for example? If she had been doused with a protection charm, which for sure Voldemort must have done, would she not have had to die then? If we follow this, does that mean if we poisoned Nagini to the brink of death and brought her back, similarly to with Harry, would the Horcrux be destroyed the same way as it has been with Harry? Please explain how it works on living beings. Also, the fact that Death just let Harry go when he had 2 of the 3 Hollows, you're telling me Death couldn't just take the one back? It's Death! Maybe Death had just seen how much help Harry could be in his endeavours and allowed him to keep the wand, the cloak, and the stone, because Death knew Harry wouldn't use it for what it was supposed to be used for. Harry didn't use the Resurrection Stone to bring back the dead. He didn't use the wand to cause havoc, having destroyed it after the battle, and the cloak. He didn't do very many bad things with it. That still begs the question, how destroyed must something be in order to be considered irreparable? The ring is still a ring, and the locket is still a locket. They can still be worn. And if not, you can melt them down and recreate them again. The same with the cup. It can still technically be considered a cup, as it can still hold water. Or again, it could have been molded with muggle or magical means to become the cup that it once was. The diary could be turned to mulch and be another book. Give it to Madam Pince. I bet she'd have a field day. The diadem and the snake are literally the only things you can't get back, purely because one was destroyed by an all-eating fire, and the other was a snake that had its head chopped off. Is it because it's strong, dark magic? Because if fiend fire can destroy a diadem, does that mean that the Horcrux can be melted safely at certain temperatures? I.e., if you were to put a cup in a bellow or a glory hole, which can go up to such high degrees that they melt glass, and change its shape so it was still usable as what it was, does that mean the soul inside it is still intact? Because though Ron and Hermione destroyed the cup, and therefore the soul inside it, it's not considered irreparable. Maybe it means by magical means. Then again, a strong enough fire spell, or consequently many fire spells, could do the same thing as a bellows, right? If Harry and Hermione had attacked the locket with a strong fire spell cast together, would that have helped? Also, did he try Sectum Sempra on it? I don't remember that well. But that also begs the question, if you can create your own spells, surely Hermione and many other students in the school could band together and pig Latin their way to destroying the stuff. You know, house unity and all of that. Maybe it was a timing issue. Like, they were too anxious and overwhelmed on the spot of it all that they didn't really sit down and think. Confusedly yours, I. P.S. Felix Felicis. The Philosopher's Stone. Time Turners. Hell, the frickin' Ford Anglia could have run that bastard over. Any form of Muggle weapons. A gun, for goodness sakes. Shoot the bugger. Get the police involved. Or hell, the Aurors can do something about it. You have a friggin' invisibility cloak, Harry. Use that and go into the forest and AK him there. Imperious one of his followers to kill him. Obliviate him. Imagine, Harry obliviates Voldemort, so he's just in the middle of the forest looking around, confused as a baby Krupp, wondering just how he had gotten there, and why everyone is calling him the Dark Lord. God, I just can't, guys.